positive vibes. And today's thought is, when you move your focus from competition to contribution, then your life becomes a celebration. So never ever try to defeat anyone. Just try to win them. With this thought, let us start the topic, that is semiconductor diode. Just I want to give you a small recap of my previous two lectures. Semiconductor is a type of material whose conductivity lies between those of conductor and insulator. Then coming to type of semiconductor, there are two types of semiconductor. One is intrinsic, the second is extrinsic. Then what is the difference between them? The intrinsic is the type of semiconductor which is available in pure form. Then what about extrinsic? It is the type of semiconductor which is available in impure form. It's not available in impure, but actually it's pure. We are adding impurity wantedly. For what purpose? To increase the conductivity. And when you add impurity, this process is called as doping. Okay. Then what are the type of impurities you are adding? There are two types of impurities you are adding. What are those? One is your trivalent impurities and other is your pentavalent impurities. When you add trivalent impurities, it is called as p-type semiconductor, and when you add your pentavalent semiconductor impurities, it is called as n-type semiconductor. Now what are the examples of trivalent impurities? That is your boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, etc. Then what are the examples of pentavalent impurities? That is nothing but your phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, etc. Now by adding that, you are forming one p-type and n-type semiconductor. In p-type, the holes are the majority charge carriers, so of course electrons are minority charge carriers. Now coming to n-type semiconductor, your electrons are majority charge carriers, so obviously holes are minority charge carriers. Next we have seen the p-n junction formation in my second lecture, in which I told about drift current and diffusion current and space charge region and potential barrier. Four important factors are related to p-n junction formation. So what is your diffusion current? It is due to the concentration gradient, or you can say non-uniformity in charge carrier concentration. Fine. Due to that, what current flows? That is called as diffusion current. Drift current, it is the current flows due to the electric potential developed at the junction. Okay, fine. Come to potential barrier. Due to this accumulation of charge carriers from both the n side, the majority holes will be, electrons will be accumulated. Similarly, here p side, holes will be accumulated. Due to that, near the junction point, there is some voltage developed. That is called as your potential barrier. Then what is space charge region? It is also the same. That space charge region only creating the voltage. Okay. What is space charge region? It is nothing but the immovable charge carriers accumulated at the junction point. That is nothing but called as space charge region or depletion region. Means why it is called as depletion? Because once the charges are accumulated, they are not further allowing the movement of charge carriers, depleting it. Hence the name depletion region. And due to that, what the voltage developed? That is called as your potential barrier, because that is acting as a barrier, that voltage. How we are confirming that there is a potential barrier? Because when you give the supply to p-n junction, what it is experimentally observed, till 0.7 volt for silicon device, the current is not flowing. Definitely certain obstacle is there in between which is not allowing the movement of current. After 0.7, the current starts to flow. You cannot measure it, but experimentally it is found that is only inside that barrier, or a position is there which is not allowing the flow. That is called as potential barrier. Okay, fine. Till that we are comfortable. Now today see the semiconductor diode. For this semiconductor diode suddenly fall from the top? No, it is the same p-n junction device in which if you connect two terminals, then it is called as semiconductor diode. Let us see. I hope you remember, this is the diagram I drawn for you. This is your P, this is your N. Now this is your depletion region. Am I right? This is your P, this is your N, this is nothing but your in between junction side called as space charge region or depletion region, and due to this a voltage developed This is called as potential barrier. Am I right? Now when you give the terminals or two contact terminals you make out of this PN junction device, then now it becomes is nothing but it is called as semiconductor diode, or it is also called as PN diode. Clear? Now what is the name of this terminal? The terminal which is connected to P side is called as anode. The terminal which is connected to N side is called as cathode. See, some textbook they mention the notation for cathode K, some mentioned as C. There is no issues with the notation. Just you mention if you are writing K, K for cathode, A for anode. That's all gives the clarity. Now let us define the semiconductor diode. How the way we need to define it? So a semiconductor diode is a two terminal. How many layer? Two layer. How many junction? One junction. Bipolar. Why I am saying bipolar? Because here holes, here electrons. Two types of charge carriers we are dealing. So bipolar. But what about the direction of current? Current always flows from P towards N. This is the direction of current. So it is a two layer, two terminal, bipolar, unidirectional, solid state semiconductor device. Make a note of it. What it is a diode? PN junction diode or semiconductor diode? It is a number 1 point, two terminal. What is that two terminals? Anode and cathode. Fine. Then second, two layer. What are those layers? P layer and N layer. Then third, one junction. What is that junction? That is called as depletion region or potential barrier junction. Then what it is? Two bipolar. Bipolar means what? Electrons and holes. Then unidirectional. What is the meaning of unidirectional? Only one direction. So current flows from anode towards cathode. Solid state semiconductor device. Solid state semiconductor device. I hope you are getting clarity of this. What is a semiconductor diode? It is a two terminal, two layer, one junction, bipolar, unidirectional, solid state semiconductor device. Okay, this is about the diode. Now the question arises, for what purpose this diode is used? There are so many applications of diode. The very common application is nothing but the rectification. What is rectification? In which it is converts the alternating current to direct current. Not direct current, it is converting to pulsating DC, ripple DC. Then we will apply the further filtering device so that it will convert it to pure DC. Okay. So now let us see how the way we can operate the diode. That is nothing but called as biasing of diode. Make the heading biasing of diode. Biasing of PN diode. See, there are two types of biasing for the diode. What are those? One is called as forward biasing and second one is called as a reverse biasing. Reverse biasing. One is called as forward biasing, other is called as a reverse biasing. Now let us see what is the difference between forward biasing and a reverse biasing. Forward biasing means your P connected to positive terminal of supply and N connected to negative. You know already P means positive, N means negative, because P side your majority charge carriers are holes. So holes are positive, so you are giving the supply to positive terminal. Similarly, N side of this connected to negative terminal of supply. A reverse means just opposite. So your P you are connecting to negative and N you are connecting to positive of the supply. One more thing, there is symbol of diode. How the way to represent it? Here you can make the symbol The symbol of diode is like this. This is your anode, this is the cathode. Now this is the, what this arrow indicates, you are seeing this is the symbol of arrow. What this arrow indicates? It indicates the direction of current. I already mentioned it is unidirectional current flows from anode to cathode. Hence, the arrow indicates the direction of the anode to cathode when it is forward biased. In that condition only. Now, if you see in your laboratory, this is your diode, ordinary diode. It will be like this. This is anode, this is cathode. This portion will be completely black. There will be a small silver coating at the end. That is nothing but your cathode. This is anode. Fine. Now let us see the biasing. So forward bias, this is the symbol of diode. Take the diode and give it to the, this is anode, this is cathode. Anode connected to positive, cathode connected to negative. This is nothing but called as forward biasing. Clear? Now come to reverse bias. Take your diode, give your anode to negative and cathode to positive. This is called as a reverse bias. See the connections, very simple concept. When your anode is connected positive of the supply or battery and cathode connected to negative of the battery, it is called as forward bias. And just the reverse is anode connected to negative, cathode connected to positive. Then it is called as a reverse bias. Now the question arises, how the way the diode behaves when you give the forward biasing and the reverse biasing. Let us see. So when you give forward biasing, I'll show in terms of diagram so that you will get more clarity. This is your P, this is your N, this is your junction. Okay, in which you are finding positive and negative charges. So what will happen? This is positive you are giving, this is negative. So obviously electrons will go to this side. Already electrons are present. This side positive holes are there. Again you are giving positive. So what will happen? Both sides are getting a force. Already same charges are there. Again you are giving the same charge force. So what will happen? They will start to push towards each other. When they start to push towards each other, this barrier is there. It will start to reduce. So how much it will reduce? It based on how much supply you are giving. So it is experimentally observed that if you do that experiment, you can see from 0, you will find the current 0. Your voltage 0, current 0. Now increase slowly this supply. You can make this as a variable forward bias supply. This is your VFB. You can give forward bias. Now keep on increasing. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Actually, this depletion region is slowly decreasing. This is your potential barrier. Slowly it will start to reduce like this, reduce like this, reduce like this. And for silicon, when you exactly reach 0.6 to 0.7, then suddenly you find a sharp rise in the current. Means what happens? This depletion barrier breaks. So what you are concluding from this? During the forward bias of the diode, the depletion width reduces. And when the depletion region becomes break, the current starts to flow. Due to which you find a sharp rise in the current. I'll show in terms of graph how it will be. You can see here the graph of PN diode in forward bias. See, this is your, you are giving your forward bias voltage. This is the forward bias current, IF. Now this is 0. You increase 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Now what you find? Your current will be very small, negligible like this. Suddenly at this point, current starts to increase. This is nothing but your VI characteristics of diode. Very important. It is common question even in Viva also. Draw the VI characteristics of the PN diode. So this is nothing but called as VI characteristics of diode. How the way, if you give the supply in forward bias, the nature of current is this. This is about which diode? Silicon. If you take for germanium, around 0.2 to 0.3, it will start to flow the current. This is for germanium, this is for silicon. Okay, fine. So with the forward bias, the conclusion is that your depletion width, they will ask this question. During forward bias, what will happen to depletion region? The depletion width decreases. And finally, for silicon device, at the 0.7, the current starts to flow. This is called as, what is this 0.7 for silicon? It is called as cut-in voltage, or it is also called as knee voltage. What is the meaning of cut-in voltage or knee voltage? I can give you a beautiful example. Just imagine, early morning you are so hungry. You want to go out for some work. You need certain breakfast or not? That minimum breakfast which will energize you or activate you, that is nothing but your cut-in voltage or knee voltage. That may be your 2 to 3 chapati, or maybe your 3 to 4 idli, or it may be 2 dosa. Okay, so whatever the minimum breakfast you need, that will make you activated or energized. That is called as cut-in voltage. Similarly, for the device, what is the food? Voltage, your supply. So the minimum of 0.7 is getting for silicon, they will turn on. Similarly, 0.3 is for the germanium. That is called as cut-in voltage or knee voltage. Okay. Now, let us see to the reverse biasing. The same PN diode, you give the reverse bias. Now, what will happen? Just same thing, what you need to do? Now, change this diagram to reverse bias. Now, P side you are connecting negative, N side you are giving positive. This is your reverse bias. Fine. Now, see, your positive P side holes are majority, N side electrons are majority. Then obviously this is negative. Opposite charges attract each other. So electrons will be attracted towards this battery and holes also towards this negative. So your depletion width starts to increase. So when your depletion width starts to increase, your barrier increases, then obviously your current flow will be reduced. That is the concept. Then if you do the experiment by giving these connections, what type of graph you will get for PN diode? You will get, this will be your reverse voltage and this will be your reverse current. Then you will find your current will be reverse current like this. You can see it's very minor or negligible current. That's what ordinary diode, semiconductor diode also called as ordinary diode. It is preferred to be used in forward bias. They will ask the questions, can't we operate in reverse bias? Yes, we can operate, but there is no use of it. No application to it. There is special diode that is called as Zener diode, which is designed to operate in reverse bias. That is the beauty. Zener diode is specially designed to operate in a reverse bias. Ordinary or semiconductor diode is designed to operate in forward bias. Okay, take a snapshot of it. Okay students, if you have any queries, please give the comment. Take care. Bye bye.